me see if I can. There we go. So I'm doing a live here because when I'm outside, there's a lot of times where I want to do lives and I can't do them because lives are best when you have like Wi-Fi going on. And when it's outside, it's like you don't have the connection the same way. Even if you take it off Wi-Fi, whatever, you're not getting, it's like choppy, you know? So I was like, all right, I got these thoughts in my mind. I just want to share. So when I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about right now, it's interesting because I'm just sitting here. I'm in this. This is the basement, as I like to call it, and this is a spot where I like to gather my thoughts and just a lot of times let them go, you know. And now I'm thinking about recording, right? Like actually making these thoughts that I have come out more frequent, more often, more consistent. And it's not about, you know, how I put these thoughts together and make them rhyme, but that whole process, besides just getting in this area right here and recording, is a process that is related to aging that I find fascinating. Because when I was younger, I could just make it happen. You know, I could just do something and I just go right to it. And I'm not saying I can't do that right now, but it's different. And the older I get, I'm sure it has a lot to do with how I have been accomplishing things over the last many years. And now it's become routine where like this is what works for me now. So this is how I go about doing it, right? I set these things into motion by planning them. Proper planning prevents poor performance, right? And you could even put a piss in front of the pour and that'll be like 6 P's. And that has been working for a long time now. So before, I would not plan or prepare as much, and I would go right into it, and I would have some success with things, but it would either be short lived, I wouldn't finish the task, I wouldn't finish or accomplish the goal, and it it would be like not as fulfilling or satisfactory because in my mind I set out to do something, but I didn't actually accomplish it because I didn't finish it. You know, you always got to be a finisher in life. Whatever you start, you don't just quit. You know, I feel like that's as strong. I think that's as strong as like someone's word. You say you're gonna do something, then you better make sure, especially if you share those thoughts like I'm doing right now, outside of your mind, and you put it out there into the universe, right? You put it out there for others to hear and see and experience, then you better come through with whatever you say, right? That's your word. So you got to be a finisher. And before, I would just do and say things without having a plan, and then I would quit on myself. So it wasn't as satisfying, it wasn't as fulfilling because I set out to do something, and regardless of how successful it was in the interim, it was not very gratifying because I gave up on myself. And nowadays, I guess out of habit or consistency, I won't even do something unless I plan and prepare ahead of time. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but in my head, I'm like, I keep thinking like, oh, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure I put this into motion because I want to. I want to do it. And then when I finally get to it, it's so fulfilling because I'm not a quitter. I know I'm gonna do it. And then once I'm finally in it, it's like I've been waiting for this. You know, because all that time is like, nope, the time's not right yet. I'm not ready yet. I can't balance all these things yet because I got too much going on. I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to be a failure to myself, you know? And now it's like the next thing, and this is why I'm inside here. It's like I want to put these tracks out more often. Because as you've been seeing, like I've been consistent with what you see on this channel, right? Like with a lot of these shorts, it was about setting forth a blueprint of touring around New York, NYC, Lower Westchester, Upper Westchester, NYC, showing people what goes on, especially people that aren't from around. Okay, so I got into a good flow of doing that, and we're gonna keep doing that, regardless of what's going on. We're gonna be as consistent as possible. Started working out because I wanted to. Because before these last few months of consistency, I had just been walking. I had just been getting steps, and I wasn't getting 10, 11, 12, 13, 15,000 a day like I am now. I was getting like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, right? But that alone, along with watching how I eat, and my sleep wasn't totally on point, my habits weren't totally on point, and my hydration wasn't totally on point. I fixed all those things. But I was able to keep my body fat down because my eating habits were on point. It was the one thing that was on point, and that's why I was able to stay trim and relatively healthy. But all those other things that I mentioned, sleep, hydration, extra steps, all my habits, I worked on all of them, right? So now, boom, all those things are done and they're in my consistency. And that took a while. And then I started incorporating working out. Yeah, I haven't hit resistance yet. I'm only doing calisthenics, but it's working, you know, because my vascularity is coming out more. My definition is better. I'm tighter. My muscles are jutting out more. And it makes me feel confident, makes me feel good, right? So now the next thing that had been in my mind, and this is giving you like a glimpse onto like how my mind works. So it's like I balance that with like putting people onto like how New York City looks, you know, these spots that I see on a regular basis. So I'm balancing all these things, right? Along with health and nutrition, and sleep habits, and hydration, calisthenics, etc., etc. And I'm showing people how like you don't need much to do it, right? You don't see me in the gym very often. I could literally do it in this space right here. It's not big. And I could pretty much get it all knocked out. Maybe not the pull-ups, but I can do everything. So that shows like the same way I'm saying like you have to in your head plan it. You know, that's what this whole live stream right now is about. Like if you plan it, you prepare yourself, you're gonna have success because you don't start it, but you have to have in your mind that you're gonna finish it. You don't start it until you're totally ready to, and you tell yourself, I'm gonna be a finisher, I'm gonna be successful at this, and it's gonna be long-term and consistent. And all those things that I just mentioned, that's exactly what's happening. So now, with these thoughts and these bars and this music, I really want to put that on the agenda next and balance it. Like I want to let out a lot of joints consistently because I know I'm capable, you know? And like the most recent thing that I added to the vocal chain, and that's what I had posted a few days ago, was see, this is a manly reference microphone, right? And I had this issue where I had latency. This is, I'm talking about over the last like 2 years of songs. And I'm battling in the dark, audio wise, where I hear the beat and I couldn't actually follow the beat. I tried my best, but there was latency on it, right? There was a lag from when I speak into that mic and when it comes back into my ears, there's like there's like a split second of delay. So imagine trying to like record and you hear your voice back at you, coming back into your headphones, and it's not matching the beat, but you're trying to make it work. That's what I had been doing for the last 2 years. So I'm not gonna say that like it's gonna be the hugest difference, but it's gonna be a difference to me because now I'm in sync with the beat. So it's just motivation to be even better, you know? And also on compression, yeah, like my partner and I, we have been working on these songs to kind of like tame down high and low frequencies for a while. I'm gonna take his advice and change the threshold so that there's a little bit more clamping on the vocal peaks and the lows. So there's less work. And I think those two things are awesome to just be motivated on setting this plan forth. I don't want to make this too long because it's already over 12 minutes. Whoever's with me, you could vibe this and understand what this plan is about. Because it's not just about music, it's about and the takeaway here is for anyone, if you have any goal out there and you want to accomplish it, whether you can do like I did before when I was younger and I just go right into it and then, more power to you if you can be successful that way. I know I wasn't. I kept letting myself down. But now it's like I'm fasting right now. Now I prepare, I plan, I make sure I'm ready. And then when I start, I'm in it. It's long term, it's consistent, and I know I'm going to succeed because I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to be a failure to myself. I'm going to stay in it. And it's long term. And it's successful because I had planned and prepared for it, and I balanced it with everything else I was doing to make sure I did it and stayed in it and really nailed it, And that's what this is about right now. So this is what I want to do, and I'm planning to put into the balance, which is output more tracks more frequently and find the balance to do that. And that like whenever you're doing something brand new, it requires a lot of effort, because you got to really like find that. It's like, okay, how do I balance this? It's like a new job, or it's like something that's like a whole new undertaking in the consistency of your life, And that's what I'm ready to accomplish now with these bars and these thoughts and these rhymes and these songs, Just wanted to put that out there, and I hope this message was motivational to someone, because if you plan it and you prepare and you're ready to put it in the balance and you commit long term with consistency, you'll make it happen. Let's have a good one. You already know. Have a great weekend.